Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another conversation with JR. Hope all is well. I have some tea for you. Oh, During a conversation with a friend, we were talking about our stressful positions and mental health field. And my friend is a social worker slash therapist, and he works inside of a hospital. And I am employed as a clinical supervisor at an agency that houses people with mental health and substance abuse problems. You think that it is a noble profession? And I would say yes or no, because I only have 2 years of experience in the social work field. So yes, it is good to work for an organization that helps to take people from what we do is we take people off the streets from homelessness, put them in a shelter for a little while, help acclimate them into society, and then we get them either on Social Security or PA because they have no skills, no source of income, and then we transition them into their own apartment, whether it's single, SRO, or shared. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of background of where I'm working at. What sparked this conversation is that we were talking about the security of having a base salary, meaning knowing how much you're going to be paid every 2 weeks and being able to plan your life, pay your bills, and have a sense of security and stability. But however, I am titling this discussion, this podcast discussion, the price, the cost of a 6-figure salary. Now, what the public doesn't see is that behind the scenes, people who work in the healthcare profession, like I do, we find ourselves physically, mentally, and emotionally burned out constantly. Now, this is like a casualty of this profession. Like, this is what this profession is. Now, I have to say again, we are paid well. I know I am. I know my friend is. We are paid well for what we do. We find ourselves, drawn to this paycheck and working for organizations that care nothing about their employees' mental health. Not your physical, not your mental, not your emotional. They want you to be there for the company and do what you have to do at all costs. So it brings me to a question. What would you, or how much should I say, are you willing to sacrifice? Your mental health, your emotional, your physical health for this salary, for this. We all need money. But I want you to think about, what I'm saying, because I constantly hear conversations between my coworkers about how much their health is suffering, their personal life, and how their social life is suffering due to the daily mental and physical demands of keeping pace. And the healthcare industry that is designed to contain, we're containing the homeless. I want you to know that we're not helping them. We're containing them at a certain level. They're helping them to maintain their substance abuse, giving them medication for their mental health. And it's a vicious cycle of just paperwork. Paperwork is atrocious. Oh my God, can I tell you that it is atrocious? And it is required by the state and it's required by the city to fund these agencies who are sometimes selling false hope. There are very, very little success stories in these agencies. I want you to know that there's a lot of dysfunctional stuff that goes on. And some of the dysfunctional stuff is the mental stress and the mental abuse of the employees. I want you to stay focused on what this discussion, what this tea that I'm spilling to you is about. Because I am in this situation. Now, I know most people who are listening to this might say, well, why don't you leave? Didn't I just tell you that I am very well paid for what I do for this agency? I have my weekends free. I work from 10 to 6, which I don't even like the hours because I get home late. But it's the lure of the income that I am talking about. And my experience with this agency is first, when they first hired me almost 2 years ago, I was just a case manager. That's all I was. I was just a case manager, right? But then 90 days into my job, they promoted me as clinical supervisor. Now, you would think, title like, clinical supervisor. Now I'm going to get my own office. And now, they're going to raise the pay and everything. You would think that, wow, this is really good. This is really good experience. And what I thought was going to be, a very prestigious thing. I got so excited, but let me tell you, my excitement soon turned into confusion about the level of tasks and stress, the things that I had to complete, the consistent complaints from the residents, that I was tasked to bring certain services to, because now they're living in their apartments, some 1-bedroom, SROs, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms. It's a lot of chaos going on. And what I started to realize was happening was I began to develop poor eating habits. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I really do my best, utmost best, 75% of the time to eat really well. To eat really, really well. I've, been doing this like my whole life. But I began to develop poor eating habits. Like I was eating a lot of sugar and snacking a lot, things that I would not do. Then came the loss of my social self-care. When I say social self-care, I'm talking about going out, being connected with people. Why? Because I was too mentally drained to even go out and be with people. The only thing I wanted to do was run home and just sit on the couch. And that's not me. And then when I got home, I was eating unhealthy and eating fast. I noticed that I was eating fast. I have a little dog, and I was really playing with my dog, and I was getting agitated at my dog because my dog wanted to play with me, and all I just wanted to do was just sit on the couch. I started feeling a lot of anxiety and stress, and I developed an ulcer. Yes, I did. I'm now healing from this peptic ulcer. Never had this before in my life, and I didn't realize that the agency, the agency that I work for, I didn't realize that this was coming from all of what I was experiencing, and I was trying to fight through it, and I was trying to just go along to be along and do the best, that I can at this job. And then something else spectacular happened. They gave the management team a raise and retroactive pay. But with that came more pressure. The pressure to succeed in moving the residents from the transitional level that they are into permanent housing. You're short staffed. The counselors are calling out. We didn't have a housing specialist. We didn't have an entitlement specialist. For a while, we didn't have a director. We was in between directors. This whole thing just blew my mind. And I know that I'm going on and on and on, but I want you to think about what I'm saying to you using my experience. Are you currently in a position where you want this 6-figure salary and you want this financial comfort that you're either working extremely long hours, 2 jobs, but then what is your quality of life like? Yeah, you might be able to afford that big vacation, cruise, the car you want, you know. There's nothing wrong with wanting a house and to live in your own house. Trust me, you should, to have your freedom. But my question is, how much are you paying attention to that this need to increase salary, not to say that it's a bad thing, is damaging your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your social life? How much of it is taking away from you? The pros and cons, what are the pros and cons of this? That you're receiving this paycheck and you look at this paycheck, but are you too exhausted to enjoy it? Do you feel yourself being agitated a lot because you're just working so much? Is your home life suffering? Is your personal life suffering? Is your marriage, is your partnership suffering? Do you have date night? How is your self-care social life? Are you really doing the things that you want to do, that you would like to do? Or are you just sacrificing everything? Are you paying attention to your children? Are you paying attention to your children's life? Just think about it. Just think about it. I'm asking you to think about the cost of this increase in salary. I justified my high income with the fact that I can easily meet the cost of living right now. I can live comfortably now. I don't have to worry about certain things like how I was worrying before. And I have been traveling. I'm getting ready to go away to Miami for my 60th birthday. We're in 2024. And I'm getting ready to go to Miami. I'm able to stay where I want to stay. And it's no problem. The prize that I think that I was, excuse me, the prize that I thought that I was getting was the income. But what the income brings is another stress. Have you thought about that? More money, more problems, people say. I'm not saying that I have problems. I'm not saying that I have problems. But it's taking its toll on me. I have stress headaches at least 5 times a week. I don't sleep well. Still not eating too well. But then another thing started happening to me. Excuse me. I started to lose weight. I stopped working out because I don't have time and I'm too drained. But I started to lose weight. People tell me it is the stress. It is the mental stress. The fact that I'm not sleeping well. The fact that I'm not eating well. The fact that I'm just not doing anything well. So this brings me back to my first question. Is sacrificing your mental health, your personal life, social self-care for a high income, is it really worth it? Is it really, really worth it that you're throwing yourself in bed at night, you're so exhausted, and when that alarm clock goes off or your phone alarm goes off in the morning, do you jump out of bed with vigor? And you're waiting for the day, and you can't wait to get to that job, and you can't wait to get to your desk or wherever you are you're working at. You can't wait to get there because it brings you joy. Mine doesn't. It does not bring me joy. It brings me a lot of stress. A higher income is not what a lot of people think that it is. People look at the higher-ups, like the directors and the VP and the CEOs and all. They don't work like we work. We do all the work. They tell us what to do. They bring us all the stress. They bring us all the problems and we figure everything out. And they take all the glory for it. But they don't feel the stress that we feel. There was a catch to me, the way I experienced it. There was a catch to wanting this high income. You're dictated to a lot, and you're giving more and more responsibilities to do. No one walks around a job and say, "Hey, are you okay? How are you feeling today?" So what I find myself doing is once every 2 weeks, I take a day off. I have personal time, I have comp time, I have sick time, I have vacation time. So what I decided, that I needed to do is every 2 weeks, I take a day off. I take a personal day or I'll take a comp day. And I take care of myself. I sleep late. I get a pedicure, manicure. If the weather's nice, before it turns cold again, I take my dog for a long walk. I go in the park. I cook something healthy at home. Drink a lot of water. That's what I've been doing. In January, I spent 4 days in Atlantic City at Tropicana all by myself. Yes, I did it. Getting ready to go to Miami. We are now in the month of March. I'm going to take a week's vacation, go to Miami. I already planned my June vacation. I'm going to go away in New Orleans. I'm saying this to you because these are the things that I focus on, that keep me focused and going, in an environment that is very toxic and that is very draining, depleting you of you. It's just depleting you of you. And then when you go home, you ain't got nothing to give nobody. You know that. You ain't got nothing to give nobody. I live alone. I ain't even got nothing to give myself and my dog. I just wanted to come on and talk to you about the cost. Think about the cost of sacrificing what you have sacrificed. You hear people say, "Oh well, yeah, you might be drained, and you might be mentally stressed, or you might be overburdened, you might be overworked, but you didn't pay well." Is that good enough? Is that good enough? Is there a balance there? People walking around here with, they're overweight, high blood pressure, sugar diabetes, but they go to work every day and they are stressed out. They are stressed out. So this is Conversation with JR. That's the tea that I have for you today. Think about it. What are you worth? What are you worth? Do you think that your life is just worth you is it just worth you going to work and earning a paycheck to get things? To have things? What is it worth to you? What is it worth to you? Again, we all need money. We all have to survive. We all have to pay bills. We all need to save for our retirement, save for the future. If you got a family, are we spending our money well? Are we digging ourselves out of debt? Do you have a plan? Or are you just going to stay in that stressful job and go around and around and around like a hamster wheel until it kills you? I'm just asking questions. You're probably saying, "Well, JR, what you going to do?" You know what I'm going to do? I am going to wait until I'm an educator. I had to take the social work position because of, the whole COVID shutdown. I don't even have to repeat it to you no more. And I had to find a full-time job to make sure that I'm able to take care of myself because it's just me. So what I'm going to do is I just completed my master's in advanced education. And what I plan to do is wait till the fiscal year and start putting my resumes out there to work in schools where I can have come home early. I know what I'm doing. I know the reason why I'm doing. I know what the paperwork is for. I can enjoy all the school breaks. I can schedule my vacations around my school breaks. I'm going to have days off, Washington birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm looking forward to that. And guess what? I'm going to be getting paid the same or maybe just a little bit more. Yes, teaching is a little stressful, but I've been in education for over 25 years. I rather that stress because I'm in a place where I'm being creative. I'm really helping to change lives. I may not change all my students' lives, but I'm helping to change life. I am adding to our future students who are going to be running this well. But guess what? It's going to be the career that I want to get up every morning and go to. And not having to go someplace just because that paycheck is good. I am going to enjoy what it is that I am doing. And even on the stressful days, it is okay because it is what I want to do, I desire, and I enjoy doing. And that's the difference. That is the difference. I hope when you listen to this conversation and you share this conversation and you think about the situation that you are in now and you can sit back, reflect, contemplate, meditate, journal, and think about the cost that you are paying for this 6-figure salary. Until the next time, I thank you for listening.